News as Donald Trump has now revoked legal status for 530,000 immigrants here in the United States. That's right, people who have came to this country legally are now being told they have to leave in 30 days. This announcement is actually coming from the Federal Register notice. Yes, you may not have heard it because, well, this is something they're trying to keep secret. And once you understand this program, you start to realize this makes absolutely no sense because in order for these people to come here to the United States under things like TPS, they need to have a U.S. sponsor, meaning someone like me or you has to sponsor these folks, show money, show you can take care of them, which means there's no money coming from U.S. citizens to bring these people and house these people inside our country. And yet, they're being kicked out. This program now will affect people like Cubans, Haitians, Venezuelans, who had came here once again legally to this country. This will be published in the Federal Register on Monday, and it says that the U.S. Department of Homeland Security said revoking the parole status would make it easier to place these immigrants in a fast-track deportation process known as expedited removal. Now, these immigrants have been here, paying taxes, paying rent to Americans. It's not costing us anything for them to be here, but the removal is going to cost us a lot. Because now imagine that's rent money to landlords that won't get that. These are a lot of businesses in which now will be shut down and shattered, which will hurt our economy. But the one thing that people aren't realizing is these are families. Imagine being in this country legally for the past few years, either having kids going to school, being involved in activities. Now you're ripping away that mom and dad and their kids from their homes, from their schools and businesses, and sending them back to the place they were trying to get away from. That is like the most un-American thing I can imagine. Because remember, America started because we wanted a fresh start from other countries. People come to this country for a fresh start. They do it legally. These are not people who came here illegally. They came here legally to start a new life for themselves. And now they're being told, bye, you need to go home. And so I need your help in sharing this video so that people understand that at this very moment, Trump is attacking legal status. Not people who came here illegally, but people who legally came here, and is sponsored by Americans, and it's costing us nothing, and yet they're helping our economy. But we're telling them and those families and those kids, goodbye. I know, it doesn't make much sense. That's why I need you to share it. Please follow me for updates. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on this. But it looks like the deportations will start on April 24th.
Hi guys, today we are talking about 530 Cubans are going to be deported back to their home country. What are your thoughts? So let's break down this video and then share with me as we continue with this video.
So this message is for the Latinos who voted for Trump, more specifically the Cubanos. See, I told you. Now your asses are going to be sent back to your fucking country. You're going to lose all your businesses, livelihoods, all your friends. All because you thought you were fucking light-skinned enough to go ahead and get a free fucking pass. How does it feel now, huh? To have somebody tell you that you don't fucking belong here. For someone to tell you that even though you got signed work to be here, that they're going to go ahead and revoke it. Crazy, right? And now this is the consequences of your fucking actions because you wanted to be a fucking pick-me. And when you're back in Cuba and you're sitting there wondering what the fuck happened or how things went wrong, remember, you did this. This is your fault. This is your problem that you need to deal with now.
Now do you understand that it was never about your legal status? It was just about the fact that you were not white. Trump told you that he was going to do this, and you let him use you. Cubans for Trump, Latinos for Trump, dogs for slaughterhouses, and y'all voted for him. And it's just because you had too much disdain for a black woman. You could not stand to see a black woman make it into the position of power that y'all wanted, so you voted for the man who wanted to send you back to your war-torn countries. Because most of these visas, the over 500,000 visas that he's revoking, are visas that Biden gave to people who were fleeing war-torn countries. Biden did so much for the country, provided so much solitude, gave the people a fighting chance. Alley-ooped it up to Harris, and you guys said, no, she's black, fuck that shit. Now you have a month to self-deport. Not a month to contest, not a month to get your legal status in order. He is giving 500,000 people a month to self-deport or face deportation through ICE. And you know what ICE is now? They take you to Guantanamo Bay. They're going to make you slave labor. And you know who doesn't have rights in America? Non-citizens. I remember vividly arguing with people, letting them know that it did not matter if you got here legally. It does not matter how you are as an immigrant, if you're a model immigrant. If you are not a white American, they were not going to protect you. And we told you all. What? I just saw a video of Cubans on the boat singing, Cubans are going to vote for Trump. You see the first list of people on this? Cubans. And they were one of the loudest supporters of Trump. It makes no sense. He said he was going to do this. I need to know, why did y'all vote for him when y'all knew he was going to do this?
Fafo season continue. You're being told you play around and these are the results.
It's Attorney Montgomery, and I'm coming to you with the latest in immigration news. It is a Saturday. This news cannot wait until Monday. He likes to release information on Friday, really in an attempt to delay anybody filing any lawsuits against their administration, kind of throwing people off of their game a little bit for the weekend. And this is nothing new. If you are paying attention to what he's doing, it's always an update on a Friday. Think about that. Anyways, let's get to it. On March 21st, 2025, the Trump administration let go of over 100 Department of Homeland Security employees. They received layoff notices, and technically the goal is to dismantle any oversight of what they are doing as it relates to immigration, because most of what they are doing is unconstitutional and it impacts civil rights and civil liberties, and that's his intention. He calls it streamlining the federal operation, but it's really not. I'm not going to get into the politics of what he's doing. You guys can listen to CNN, MSNBC, Fox, wherever you get your information from. What I will tell you is that the reallocation of federal agents to immigration enforcement, that is what he's doing as of March 22nd. Thousands of federal agents traditionally assigned to investigate crimes like child abuse, money laundering, tax fraud, have been redirected to enforce immigration laws. So, children being abused, unimportant. Money laundering, unimportant. Tax fraud, unimportant. Now, ICE is, from my understanding, almost complete in their collaboration with IRS. And so now IRS agents will be looking to see all of the people who have been filing taxes who do not have status, so they can locate them and deport them. So if you are an illegal immigrant or someone who does not have status in the United States, or you have been issued an ITIN number, this is how they are now going to track you to try to deport you. So the good news is, what is the point in paying taxes? That's my question. What's the point? Okay. Now, we know that you has filed suit to contest this Alien Enemies Act that he is trying to invoke to deport immigrants, predominantly Venezuelans, to a detention center in El Salvador. And so the ACLU, which is the American Civil Liberties Union, obviously is contesting that, because what we think we are seeing is modern day slavery. Okay? Now, what's most harmful and impactful to over 532,000 people are all the folks who came to the United States under the Biden humanitarian parole program. These people are from Haiti, Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. And Ukraine is also involved in that. It was a family reunification initiative, and that has been suspended. Not only has it been suspended, but they will no longer have status in about 30 days. And so they can now begin the deportation process of all of those individuals, all of them. They have your information, they know where you are, they can come and get you, and they can deport you. That is where we are. So this news is absolutely gut-wrenching and heartbreaking. So we've got to come up with a plan of action. And so my advice to you is get with an immigration attorney. If you do not have one, you are welcome to give us a call at 678-601-5580.
Where are my Miami Cubans at? Stand up for what you supported in 2024. Stand up for what you supported. Oh, you thought he wasn't talking about you, right? He wasn't talking about you. He was talking about the illegals. Even though we tried to tell you, if your skin color was brown and you talk Spanish, he wants you out of the country. You thought, oh, he's not talking about me. We tried to warn you. The mass deportations in U.S. history affect communities of color indiscriminately. How do they know if you're undocumented or not? They're going to harass you. So even revoking legal status for 500,000 Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans, how are they going to find out which ones just lost their legal status? Where are they going to find them? They're going to be searching these neighborhoods, as they have been already. You know, when I moved from Michigan to Florida, I was young, naive. I didn't know what had happened in 2000, but I was shocked when I learned that Cubans in Miami were Republicans, because coming from Michigan, I knew who the Republicans were, and they couldn't stand the Cubans. And it's like, you're voting for people who can't stand you. They tolerate you because you stay in Miami and you're not venturing out to Iowa. You're not venturing out into the Midwest to realize that the people you're supporting want you out of their country. Fafo. But stand up and own what you supported. Round of applause. Greatness is here. Enjoy it.
Cubans for Trump. It's not a clapback. I'm not trying to fight with you. We had enough words before, during, and after the election. I know that you've been living your life by putting, and like most Trumpsters, you put your head in the sand, only listen to Fox News, and he's banking on that, and you haven't been paying attention to what's going on in the world. Trump, as of about 7 hours ago, revoked the parole program for more than 500,000 Cubans, Haitian, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. And that's not the bad part of this, right? The bad part about this is that he's given everyone, as of March 25th, 30 days to leave this country on your own. If not, Homeland Security and ICE are coming for you. Go look it up. Article is right here. Now, I'm entitled to, and I told you so. I don't take any pleasure in telling you this news. I try to help you before the election, because had we had Kamala Harris, this would not be happening to you, and it would not be happening to me, because I know goddamn well I'm next. I'm Puerto Rico. I'm fucking next. Somehow, some way, my ass is next. So, with that being said, you've had your head in the sand and you haven't been paying attention to the news, because all you listen to is Fox News. Well, what has been happening is that undocumented immigrants, or those that he has now deemed no longer welcome in the country, have been rounded up, but they're not being sent back to their countries. They're being sent to El Salvador. Because Marco Rubio, one of your own, made an agreement with El Salvador and the president that's Arab, and made an agreement that that's where they're going to send the deportees. That center is one of the worst prisons in the world, known as the confinement of terrorism. And that's where he's sending people without any criminal records. Just go look it up. And maybe you were one of those Cubans that was clapping your hands. That's exactly what needs to happen, but that's about what's going to happen to you if you do not willingly deport yourself out of this country. I tried to tell you a week ago in another video that you needed to start making other arrangements other than the United States. And I know none of you chimed in. None of you want to hear. I'm pretty sure most of you got me blocked. You need to put your girl down as somebody you need to listen to, because what I've said to you up to date is absolutely accurate as I called it. With that being said, please know that birthright citizens are next, and so are naturalized citizens, and so are green card holders. I told you before the election, he only wanted your vote, and now he's proven it. He don't give a damn. You voted in can't even say it. You voted a dictator, just like Fidel Castro, into office, and now you're seeing the cruelty of what it is to be a dictator. I don't want to see you separated from your kids, and I most definitely do not want to see you end up in that prison. Please heed my warning. Start making arrangements for a country other than the United States, because within the next couple of months, this country will not accept you anymore, and I don't give a fuck what your citizen status is. But y'all have a blessed day.
You're mad that they have a relationship with the Cuban government, but this one is exhibiting all of the worst aspects of why you left in the first place? Hi, welcome to Street Politics. My name is Reese Waters. Shout out to all of our subscribers and members here on the channel. Cubans, Cuban Americans. Yeah, I need to holla at y'all, because I don't know if you've been paying attention, but the rest of the Latino community been snitching. Yeah, they've been snitching on y'all. They have said that y'all are the true ops that created this calamity that befalls everybody. Yeah, they did.
We're also following breaking news that could impact the lives of many people here in South Florida and across the country. The Trump administration is revoking the temporary legal status of more than 1 million Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans. That's according to a Federal Register notice. The reason given, the parole programs were deemed ineffective in improving border security and inconsistent with current administration policies. It goes into effect April 20th. The move could leave hundreds of thousands possibly facing deportation. As of now, there have been no comments from the Trump administration.
What you said before the election? Yeah, I took a look at that.
En Washington se bailará música cubana y latina por la inauguración presidencial de Donald Trump.
America great again. I'm voting. Espérate. Yo voy a votar por Trump.
I know you have some experience with Fidel, so what do you think about that?
You have no idea. I know a dictator. I know. It's a complete opposite thing.
Well, see, that's the thing. If you, in fact, did know a dictator, like if what you were saying were truthful and honest, we wouldn't be here.
To know what I think about Kamala, what's her name? The witch? What is?
Kamala.
What I think about Kamala is pretty simple. What she's an expert on, in
putting people in jail as a prosecutor.
She's gonna put the country. She's a businesswoman.
No.
What she know how to do? She's gonna make it. She's trying to do an experiment, and we're gonna be there. In the experiment, okay? She's gonna try her poop. And then she's gonna put the whole country in a debt, and then she's gonna do what she does best. That is?
Put people in jail.
Put people in jail. So she only knows how to put people in jail. What do you expect?
You know what's crazy? If that were true, Kamala Harris would have a cabinet position. Yeah. If what you're saying were true, they would put her in charge of ICE. Because that's what they doing.
So we can pay the debt that she have. That's what actually is going to happen. We need a business person to deal with this country. Strong leader, somebody that know about war, somebody that have experience, negotiation, etc. Et we said Marxismo, Leninismo. You don't want to get there. You don't want to go with Lenin. Okay? It makes no sense. I don't want to say what the judge, Joe, what's his name?
Joe Brown.
Joe Brown said. But basically, it's right there.
Yeah, some were more long-winded with the BS than others, but others wanted to show it physically.
What I miss about Donald Trump, well, he was a great president for the United States, one of the best presidents for the United States. I miss the price of the gas. I'm involved in real estate, so real estate was way better than it's actually now. The interest rates was better, houses were more affordable for everyone. So a lot of things we miss about Donald Trump.
And you're from Cuba?
Yeah, from Cuba.
Cubanos for Trump?
Yeah, Cubanos for Trump. Actually, I brought my parents after a long process of interviews and paperwork and all that. They're actually today with me. So
Democrats don't want people to come here to vote red.
Yeah, exactly.
They make it hard for you to come here.
Yeah, make it hard.
Anybody come over the southern border, we don't
yeah,
care who you
that is
are.
one of the things that have open borders. So all the illegals coming here, but my parents try to bring them legally. I
Beautiful.
have to stamp them, and that took me like.
Just for the Latinos who voted for Trump, more specifically the Cubanos. See, I told you. Now your asses are going to be sent back to your fucking country. You're going to lose all your businesses, livelihoods, all your friends. All because you thought you were fucking light-skinned enough to go ahead and get a free fucking pass. How does it feel now, huh? To have somebody tell you that you don't fucking belong here. For someone to tell you that even though you got signed work to be here, that they're going to go ahead and revoke it. Crazy, right? And now this is the consequences of your fucking actions because you wanted to be a fucking pick-me. And when you're back in Cuba and you're sitting there wondering what the fuck happened or how things went wrong, remember, you did this. This is your fault. This is your problem that you need to deal with now.
So this is what I'm trying to understand here. What did Cubans who voted for Trump think? Did they think they were special? Did they think that Trump, who had been saying for months, even years, that TPS was not a legal way to come into the country, who thought that everybody from Latin America was munching of the government, who talked about the largest deportation in history, was going to just look the other way when it came to Cubans? Because what? Because they're special? These are the same Cubans that for a while kept talking about Mexicans and Central Americans and South Americans and saying that we were munching of the government for some weird reason, when most immigrants don't munch of the government because they don't even have a social security number. But well, I digress. The point is this: the guy told you straight up what he was going to do, and you thought you were exempt of whatever measure he wanted to take, and you didn't care about the rest of the people that were going to get hurt, and you still don't. And now you're crying on social media saying that they're illegally taking the people that he promised to pardon you if you had like some guys, or say like if you had a college degree, then or you were going to school. What do they think? That the rest of us don't have education, or that the rest of us don't speak multiple languages? We do. And most of us work hard and have an organized life. It's not like Cubans are the exception to everybody else. That's what happens. When you feel you're special like this, for no valid reason whatsoever, then when reality sets in, it feels like a brick right across your face. So you're in the find out phase. Because you guys voted for this, and you guys supported this. You guys supported a guy who put the embargo back on your island. And now the people that you have down there are suffering. Now you can't go visit him anymore. And on top of that, you're getting deported over there. So you voted for the guy who set up the embargo to send you back again to that embargo that you escaped from. So don't come crying. I'm Alex. This is my rant, and I'm out.
Okay, so this is the Fafo season. It continues. President Donald Trump has literally come up with an update on immigration where he's going to deport 530,000 Cubans, Nicaraguans, and Haitians, and of course there's another group which I forgot. But anyway, the point is, you voted for him, and now you're finding out you're going to be deported. Even when you're warned, even when you are told that when he becomes the president, this is what he's gonna do, but somehow you thought, the Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, you thought you a special group. You thought, oh, they're going to touch other people, but not you guys. You thought you are going to be the exception. But unfortunately, when these decisions are being made, usually it cut across the board. It does not choose. It's usually everybody who falls under that group. They come in, they do their search, they go to those neighborhoods, and they pick, and they take, and they depose them. That's how they operate. You have seen how ICE they've been operating when they are trying to deport the Mexicans. They usually come to the neighborhood and just go inside the Mexican neighborhood and just go search and remove them and take them to the ICE headquarters, their offices, and just hold them, and then of course search if they have the papers or not. If they don't have the papers, they're usually deported. Even some people who have papers, unfortunately some have already been deported. I mean, this is in the news. It's not like I'm talking something which is not happening. It is happening. And this is the time where you're finding out, oh my God, I voted against my own interest. I voted, I was told, but still I felt like, I'm part of the group, or they're going to make an exception of us, but now it's the time to cry. Now is the time you're finding out, oh my God, you messed up. And indeed you messed up, because now you're going back to be deported. Now you're going to go back to where you came from, even after you have made a life for yourself in America. But they don't care. They don't care. As long as you don't have the papers, they're going to deport you. It's so sad when I see so many people who voted against, Kamala Harris, thinking, they're the exception, thinking they're the exception, they're going to be exempted, they're a special group. And now here we are. This is the reality. This is the reality you're finding out. So what are you going to do? So the best thing I can say, advice, is get an immigration advocate, lawyer, a lawyer to help you through, the process, to help you, to hold your hand and maybe guide you on how to go about it. And who knows, maybe you'll be safe with your family. Who knows, Anyway, guys, please don't forget to subscribe.
So this is what I'm trying to understand here. What did Cubans who voted for Trump think? Did they think they were special? Did they think that Trump, who had been saying for months, even years, that TPS was not a legal way to come into the country, who thought that everybody from Latin America was munching of the government, who talked about the largest deportation in history, was going to just look the other way when it came to Cubans? Because what? Because they were special? These are the same Cubans that for a while kept talking about Mexicans and Central Americans and South Americans and saying that we were munching of the government for some weird reason, when most immigrants don't munch of the government because they don't even have a social security number. But well, I digress. The point is this: the guy told you straight up what he was going to do, and you thought you were exempt of whatever measure he wanted to take, and you didn't care about the rest of the people that were going to get hurt, and you still don't. And now you're crying on social media saying that they're illegally taking the people that he promised to pardon you if you had, like, some guys, or say, like, if you had a college degree, then, or you were going to school. What do they think? That the rest of us don't have education, or that the rest of us don't speak multiple languages? We do. And most of us work hard and have an organized life. It's not like Cubans are the exception to everybody else. That's what happens when you feel you're special like this for no valid reason whatsoever. Then when reality sets in, it feels like a brick right across your face. So you're in the find out phase, because you guys voted for this and you guys supported this. You guys supported a guy who put the embargo back on your island. And now the people that you have down there are suffering. Now you can't go visit him anymore. And on top of that, you're getting deported over there. So you voted for the guy who set up the embargo to send you back again to that embargo that you escaped from. So don't come crying. I'm Alex. This is my rant, and I'm out.